What is going on, YouTube? Up and Adam here, and today I have another Madden 22 video. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking the best theme teams in Madden 22 right now. So the way I'm going to do this video is going to be a little bit different, where I'm going to take my top theme teams that I think are in the game, and I'm going to rate them by different tiers. I got the tier 1, I got tier 2, and then I got tier 3. So tier 1 is going to be the best theme teams in Madden right now, and then tier 3 will be kind of like the worst theme teams. It's kind of weird because I'm going to go through like 10 teams or so in this list. So it's pretty much like the worst of the best, if that makes any sense to you. So we'll go through like 10 theme teams here, and we're going to show you which ones are the best and why. The way I'm ranking these teams is going to be by these few different criterias. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the quarterbacks. Okay, we're going to rank them by the secondary, something like the cornerbacks and the safeties. We're going to be talking a little bit about the wide receivers. Lastly, the tight ends. I think those are like the most important positions when you're building a theme team. Obviously, the running back as well and things like that. But I think those criteria right there is what we're going to focus majority on. Okay, so before we jump into this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button, and turn those notification bells on if you are enjoying the content so far on the channel. Let's start with the first theme team. So we're gonna start with tier 3. The first team that's gonna be going into the tier 3 bracket is gonna be the New England Patriots. Okay, like I said, we're gonna go through the quarterbacks here first. They got Cam Newton and they got the Tom Brady. Tom Brady also has a free out of position card that's a scrambler archetype, which is really good that you can use. They have pretty decent wide receivers, as you can see on the screen right here. They got Antonio Brown, they got Brandon Cooks, LTD, and Randy Moss. Okay, so really like pretty decent wide receivers that you can definitely use at wide receiver. And then they also have Rob Gronkowski at tight end, which is a really good one. And then you can also get a pretty cheap budget beast in Jonnu Smith. As you can see, the O-line is also pretty solid, along with their backfield is good as well, okay? And then on defense, they have decent safeties. Obviously, could definitely be better, but Adrian Phillips and Rodney Harrison. Again, with these theme teams, we're talking about 50 out of 50 theme teams, okay? So these are all 50 out of 50 theme teams, okay? But at corner, they have a really stacked up cornerback. Here they have Ty Law, Darrelle Revis, and Aqib Talib. Probably one of the best corner groups in Madden right now with these three right here. Okay, so that's gonna be my tier 3 tier list. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins. Okay, the reason why I have this one here is because they have a pretty solid team, but they also is pretty cheap to build right now, which I really like. So you can see here at quarterback, they have Dan Marino. Honestly, Dan Marino goes on every single theme team. So quarterback kind of like is one of those things where Dan Marino is probably one of the best quarterbacks still in the game. We still have a few others, but Dan Marino is really solid. You can see 96 overall. They have Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, and Brandon Marshall. Definitely due for an upgrade shortly as well. So good, really solid wide receiver group. And then tight end is where they're lacking a little bit, unfortunately, on the offense. You can see they got only 191 overall tight end, which definitely hurts them a little bit there. O-line is okay, definitely could use some work there, but that is going to be their offense. And then on defense, they got Minkah Fitzpatrick at free safety and Eric Rowe at strong safety. Obviously, you have like Taylor Mays that you can use. Okay, there's other players that are free, but we're just talking mostly just like theme teams itself right now, okay? So, and then at corner, they got Byron Jones, they got Jason McCourty, and they got Bobby McCain. So again, this is still in my tier, in my tier 3, kind of a little bit lower on that list, but I still really like this team because of the cost as well, okay? Next up, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't believe I'm saying this. As a Cowboy fan, I can't believe I'm putting the Eagles on this list. I don't know. Anyways, but at quarterback, they got Randall Cunningham, really solid. Also, Michael Vick is probably going to be due for an upgrade at some point. So if you like the lefties, Michael Vick will probably get an upgrade at some point this year. Wide receiver, they got Miles Austin. This is where they're pretty weak at receiver. This is what kind of is really like holding them back, in my opinion, is their receiver core with Miles Austin, Devonta Smith, and Deshaun Jackson, unfortunately. But at tight end, they got really solid. They got Charlie Young, they got Zach Ertz, and Dallas Goedert. So if you're running a a 2 tight end set, this is going to be really solid for you as well. With their O-line is not too bad. On defense, okay, at free safety, they got this Brian Dawkins, which is a really solid card. And then they have Malcolm Jenkins at strong safety, along with this this card right here. It's an out of position Ngata, and pretty decent speed on that card as well, so you can definitely have that. At corner, they have Darius Slay, who just got an upgrade. They got Steven Nelson and Avonte Maddox, so not bad at all. And the price of this team is like about 1.8 million to build, so it's not even that bad either for the price. The last team I have in the tier 3 bucket is gonna be Las Vegas Raiders. They were the top team early in the year. They kind of dropped down to like the second tier, and now they're pretty much in the third tier. They're still a really good team, and I know they're gonna get better as the year gets on. At this moment, around the zero chill time, this is what their team looks like. Derek Carr at quarterback or Marcus Mariota. Again, you can definitely use Dan Marino still, okay? But they have pretty solid wide receivers with Cliff Branch and Hunter Renfro and Randy Moss. You know that Moss will get an upgrade at some point soon. Okay, Jerry Rice is due for an upgrade, so you could tell that their wide receivers are going to be stacked throughout the entire year. And they also have Darren Waller and Jared Cook at tight end. And plus, their O-line looks pretty good as well. On defense, they got Taylor May, so everyone could get this card. It could be on any theme team if you decide to choose as your Season 2 champion. They have the Ted Hendricks, which is a really solid card. Auto position, strong safety Ted Hendricks is so good. And then they got Charles Woodson, Cordell Patterson, and Mike Haynes at corner. They're still a little bit weak there. I think they're due for some upgrades for sure. But yeah, my last tier 3 team is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. Next up, we have our tier 2s. And that's going to start off with the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, they don't have a fullback, but you can definitely put a tight end there as well. So you could put Ertz or whatever. But Kyler Murray just got an upgrade, so that's definitely huge for them. DeAndre Hopkins, Ahmad Rashad, and AJ Green. So their wide receiver core is a little bit slow, unfortunately, but their tight ends are solid as well with 3 of them. And then on defense, they do have a good O-line. Look how good the O-line is. On defense, they have at free safety, they're a little bit weak, but if we're talking about Taylor Mays, once you get him at level, I guess it's like 40 or 45 fully powered up, he can take that free safety position there. Isaiah Simmons, strong safety, really solid card, one of the best users in the game by far. And then at corner, they got the new Patrick Peterson. Antrell Roll is due for an upgrade at some point. And then this Byron Murphy Jr. The next tier 2 team we have is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, really solid team. You have Tom Brady. If you want to use that, again, you can still use the Dan Marino if you really decide to. But at wide receiver, they have Keyshawn Johnson, really solid. We got Chris Godwin, another fast receiver, and then Antonio Brown. At tight end, you have the Rob Gronkowski, so another really good card here. Decent O-line. Moving on to defense, they got Antoine Winfield Jr. at free safety. Again, you could put the Taylor Mays there. You got the John Lynch. If you want to use your team captain, you can definitely use that there as well at 95. And then at corner, they got Aqib Talib, Richard Sherman, and Darrelle Revis. So another really stacked up corner core right here. The last tier 2 team I have on this list is going to be the New York Jets. All right. So at quarterback, they got Tim Tebow, one of the best in the game right now if you like to scramble. Okay, they also have Boomer Esiason there. Then you have at wide receiver Keyshawn Johnson, Brandon Marshall, and then the Robbie Anderson. Still a really solid wide receiver core right there. And then at tight end, this is where they're a little bit weak with a 90 overall. Eric Tomlinson, but O-line is also pretty solid except for that left tackle position here. Yeah, let's go and show you their defense. Ronnie Lott is definitely due for an upgrade. Jamal Adams, one of the best safeties, strong safeties in the game. Again, free safety is not a big deal because you can put that Taylor Mays there. And then at corner, you got Ty Law, Perry Nickerson, and Darrelle Revis. So really solid core of cornerbacks right there as well. Now, we are moving into my top tier, tier 1, the best of the best. And let's start it off with the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys right here. You got Tony Romo at quarterback or Randall Cunningham if you like to have a scrambling quarterback. Wide receivers, you got the new Deion Sanders 96. It's a 99 speed on a lot of teams here. you got Keyshawn Johnson, and you have the Michael Irving. And if that's not enough, you have CeeDee Lamb and Jimmy Smith as well. You have way too many wide receivers on the Cowboys that you can pick from. Then you have Dalton Schultz is like the only weak point along with Billy Joe Dupre, but still pretty solid. And then the O-line is just really solid, all like pretty much 90 overalls. And then defense is really good too. They're a little weak at the safety position, but you can have your Taylor Mays here or this Roy Williams. Keanu O'Neal is a strong safety. And then at corner, you got Mel Renfro, Everson Walls, and you have the Deion Sanders. So really solid, but they are probably one of the most expensive theme teams in the game. Next up, for the best of the best, it's going to be the 49ers. They always have a really solid team. As you can see here, they're weak at quarterback, but you can still use the Dan Marino if you decide to. Okay, at wide receiver, they got Deion Sanders, Deebo Samuel, and Randy Moss. So really good core group of wide receivers there. And they have way too many good tight ends. You got Vernon Davis, you got Charlie Young or George Kittle that you can use. And their O-line is pretty solid as well. And on defense, you have Taylor Mays at free safety. That's absolutely free. Tart is the only meh kind of card here on strong safety. And then corners, you got Richard Sherman, Jason Verrett, and Deion Sanders. So one of the better theme teams in the game right now. And my last tier 1 is going to be the Seattle Seahawks. They kind of came out of nowhere here, and they're looking really solid, okay? You can see at quarterback, that's where they're only lacking. But if you're using a different quarterback right now, that is okay as well. You have Devin Hester, you have Brandon Marshall, and you have Doug Baldwin at wide receiver, along with Charlie Young, Jimmy Graham, and Gerald Everett. And their O-line is pretty nice as well. But moving on to defense, this is where it gets really solid, okay? They might have the best defense in the game with Quandre Diggs at free safety and Jamal Adams at strong safety, along with you have your Cam Chancellor for every team as well. But you got Richard Sherman, Shaquille Griffin, and the DK Metcalf at cornerback. Really solid. That is going to be my top theme teams in the game, ranked from tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Obviously, all these are really good, but there's some that are just way better than others, and you saw that in our tier 1 there, okay? Again, we all have our own opinions on theme teams, so if you have a different opinion than mine, you're more than welcome to share it down below. I will not be offended, I promise. It's okay to have our own opinions. If you think there's another team that should be on there, definitely leave a comment down below. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, turn those notifications bells on for more Madden content.